Today, we're not discussing any system design concept. Instead, I want to explain something very fundamental to you guys. It is related to system design, of course, but it's not like a regular concept. This is the concept of static or theoretical knowledge versus dynamic or applied knowledge. Now, a lot of people reach out to me and ask me, which books should we read? Should I read scalable systems books or data intensive architecture books or system design books? And the problem with that question is that the knowledge in books is very theoretical. It's mostly been written by academicians who probably haven't faced a lot of issues in the real world or in production. Whereas I personally usually rely on engineering blogs of companies like Netflix, Uber, Discord, and so on, because they explain to you the challenge with their current approach and the issues that they faced and how they changed things around and started with the implementation of a new method. And then they tell you if the solution actually fixed their problems or not. So this second type of knowledge, which is what we just discussed, is the one that you get from blogs, where you look at real production systems and real production issues and then their solutions. That is actually way more valuable than the knowledge that you get from books. Because this knowledge, the one from blogs, is actually applied knowledge. The thing is, I've seen people follow everything that's written in the book, but still fail miserably because context matters a lot. And your specific use case matters a lot more. Because when we're engineering, when we're building something, you have to actually adapt on the go and you have to figure out the things that are right for your software and the scale that you're at and your particular industry. So if you follow books and just start from day one with replication, distributed networks, global load balancing, and so on, you're going to make your architecture very expensive and yet not very effective. But if you actually follow the advice of people who have built stuff, you'll know how to solve problems, what issues happened with them, and how they came up with solutions. And to be honest, you don't want knowledge. What you need is the ability to think, the ability to come up with solutions, the judgment to know which solution is great, and the flexibility to adapt to different solutions if the current one does not work. So reading blogs is not the only way to get this applied knowledge. The second way is to actually solve lots of case studies, which are actual system design problems. Now, there's one big issue there as well. People actually just solve problems that are relevant from an interview perspective. And in these problems, you're building systems from scratch. And that's not great because in reality, when you actually start working on something, you're probably going to inherit some architecture and you're going to see lots of problems in production and you will have to then fix them. So working on case studies that are real is a highly effective way to learn how to solve problems. By the way, I run a cohort for senior engineers that solves exactly these problems. You can check it out on algoroq.io, which is algoroq.io. The next way to get this kind of knowledge is to actually go to conferences, make lots of friends and learn from them and understand from them. These are the people with unique experiences, and if you wait around for experiences and challenges in your own life and just live from your own life experiences and just learn from your own problems, that's a very slow way of learning something. Whereas learning from other people's mistakes and experiences is extremely fast and you grow a lot faster. The third way is to just build a lot of side projects. I always recommend working at companies that don't have problems with side projects. And that actually lets you explore so much more and go tangential and face challenges and problems you wouldn't have faced before. The fourth way is to work at high speed, high growth, cutting edge startups. You'll face more problems in one day than you face in years at an established company. And the best thing is that you won't even have the resources to properly fix that problem. So you'll come up with extremely innovative and creative solutions. And by the way, that's how great products are built. When you find a kick-ass solution to an existing problem, you can actually build it out as a product that solves the same problems for other people as well. The fifth way is to start consulting or a services firm or just start freelancing with multiple companies. And this is what I did. I started a consulting firm when I was starting out, and suddenly I was thrown into complex problems that I had no context about. And because I had clients from different industries, I was fixing problems that had a lot of variance, meaning not much in common with each other. And that's what helped build my problem solving abilities, and that's how later on I started my own startups. So this is just what the video for today was all about. I just wanted to quickly clarify that not all knowledge is equal, and the knowledge that you gain from experience sticks around for much longer. When you actually solve problems and get solutions, that knowledge is so much more valuable. And there are faster ways to get this dynamic applicable knowledge, which is through blogs, meeting people, side projects, or freelancing. Now, the best part is that the stuff that I'm teaching on this channel comes from the real world. There's no fluff, I'm not wasting your time, and you're learning from an actual builder. So don't forget to subscribe and share this with your friends. All right, I hope this was helpful. Now, don't forget to explore the beginner system design playlist on this channel, which has more than 50 videos, and the intermediate system design playlist, which I'm building slowly. So I'll see you in the next video.